I think we're ready to go.
Hello everyone. How are you doing? Good to see everyone here. Thank you all for coming. We're really grateful that you've come. I hope you're all doing all right. I hope it's not too cold there. No? Yep. Yeah, I hope this is, it's nice to see all of you here, see some familiar faces. I would love to be there, but as you can see, unfortunately, I'm here in California. But I think this is going to be quite interesting, actually. Now, a couple of notes. We are going to walk from here, and we're going to walk for 45 minutes, and when we finish, it's going to be about 5 minutes walk from here in the end, so it's actually not going to be too far away. Safety notes, please be mindful of the roads. We're just going to cross 2 roads, and they're very quiet, but we just want to remind you to please try and be aware, don't be too immersed in that regards. And lastly, if you could all turn your phones onto airplane mode so it doesn't interfere with the cellular data signal, doesn't interfere with the signal. And also, if you could all please, somebody actually, sorry, could come and mute Axel's computer. That would be great, just so we don't get any wind interference. All right, is it gone? Great, cool, thank you. Okay, so without further ado, let's begin.
Yeah, so this is me again, and I just wanted to tell you a story, and it goes like this. A street lamp shone through the window of a town very far away, and a man sat at the desk and was sad. "Why?" he said to his dear friend who stood in the darkness.
"Knight to d4,
said his friend, lost in the middle of a different thought.
e2, e3, b5, bx, b5, bb7.
I see, he said.
Mazzetti House was built in 1888 by Emil Nielsen and the Malmo chocolate and confectionery factory AB. The original logo was a dalkula, that is, a lady from the region of Dalarna. And she was holding a big piece of chocolate in this image. In 1904, a pair of eyes appeared in their advertisement, along with the slogan, "See with your own eyes that you get the Mazzetti eyes." Zalic, a small town in Slovenia, is planning to build a large chocolate fountain that spurts out drinkable chocolate, Europe's largest chocolate fountain. The fountain will allow chocolate fans to carry out their most ancient ambition, to swim in chocolate. Hello, everyone. My name is Screen, and I would like to welcome you all to CMD, Part 2 of this ongoing research project, Plugfair, Through a Glass Darkly. While Part 1 was dedicated to the dissection of nighttime roving, Part 2 follows on to embody the state of astheniopia, or tired eyes, which is a computer-induced medical condition giving the sensation of drying your eyeballs with a towel. After hours on safari, you feel buried. Pecan nuts, welding shut my fingers, high in fibre but low in political rhetoric, sit next to the dense cloud of vapour emitting perpetually from your cells. From within this tired state, the brain interprets faces as the ingredients list for the BBC Good Foods chorizo and rosemary pear barley risotto recipe. It's all too much. You're running from the embroidered Iranian tablecloth in no time. Follow me. I'm fucking buzzing. You see this tree? Please imagine this tree is 28 cats in Christmas hats made out of wax about to prowl west. A group of shops sits on the crossing. Syriana sweets and coffee, Stella's herbs and massage, install hair and beauty, European and Afro products, Phonus, funerals, tombstones, family law, open arms second hand, and city shoes. Sophia wrote on Google Reviews, "Very nice. High quality shoes at good prices. Perfect if you're looking for a bargain." Daniel P gave 5 out of 5 stars, saying, "A fantastic service. I went in to look for some shoes for my mother, who lives in a nursing home and finds it difficult to find her way around cramped little shops by herself. After listening to her needs, the salesperson immediately suggested a shoe he thought would be suitable for her. Thankfully, she loved the shoes, so she made a purchase." Here we go. We're getting gold plated in the reflection of this vapour. I don't like that. I want to stop that. I want to propose the habit of fixing broken crockery at house parties. You see that? I want to talk to you about Stoke-on-Trent. I have memories there of playing outside a small community centre next to a wood. I can't remember anything else, but I scored 40% in the memory retention element of my dyslexia test. The West Midlands is an odd place. My grandfather made his own pottery. A lot of pottery has come out of this city. Companies such as Royal Dalton, Dudson Unlimited, Spode, founded by Josiah Spode, Wedgwood, founded by Josiah Wedgwood, Minton, founded by Thomas Minton, and Baker & Co., founded by Sir William Baker, were established and based there. As a teenager, I used to install ventilation equipment in the summertime. The intention was to keep cool. There is a museum where you can see objects. Their significance weighs heavily on the surface of skins. You find yourself in front of a mirror making a terracotta gravy boat at night. I'm talking of Gladstone, of course, the only one with a mid-sized coal-fired inferno.
An empty room. The downstairs room. Meant to be a living room, but on the internet as spacious, as roomy, as a room for sleeping in. Even at times as grandiose as semi-suite. It benefited from a toilet being across the hall in a converted cupboard under the stairs. Before the previous housemates had moved out, it had been called the echo chamber by the others, because of the way he had only ever spoken about mineral deposits in Sudan and trains and extinct animals, and no one listened to him, but he would always speak about these things anyways, perhaps even if he was by himself. The house had 5 bedrooms altogether. Josh was tall and had strawberry blonde hair. He was the last of them. Everyone else was gone now, moved home, moved to other cities for postgrad, or to a different house nearby because they fancied a change. No one had really told him that they were going to leave. They just did leave, one by one. For a few months, he wandered around the empty rooms in his underwear, eating cereal with almond milk. Eventually, he found a new housemate who had contacted him through a representative at the University of Lund and had advanced a year's rent into his account as soon as Josh confirmed there was a downstairs room going. The new housemate was called Blue, and that was as far as it went in terms of introductions, or anything really. Blue requested that their keys be sent in the post, and they required no help moving in, and that they would arrive shortly.
visual looming syndrome is characterized by a problem with visual perception that causes people to inaccurately think that a stationary object is moving towards them and might poke them in the eyes. VLS is a neurological and muscular state where the differences of the eye coordination causes the brain to interpret the incoming information as a visual looming event and fear that the object is approaching and might hit the eye. Because the condition is muscular in nature, it can be affected by everything that affects the eye cooperation to fail, such as being black-tired, under the influence of narcotics or alcohol, eye pressure, or even minor differences in eyesight. The trigger is usually a narrow or pointy object, for example, an anodized harpoon. Studies have indicated that certain conditions such as night talopia or night blindness may worsen the syndrome. It was hot. Blistering hot. But I would say that, seeing as I'm trapped inside a giant bottle of Uludag as I write this, and there is space to fit my cousin Addie, and we are talking about tree houses and falling in love in America, and if it was the regular-sized Uludag, I would be unable to do this. Earth, the third planet from the Sun, with an equatorial diameter of 12,756,000 kilometers. It is the fifth largest planet in the solar system, but it is still a speck compared to the Sun, which takes up as much as 99.8% of the total mass of the solar system, and it is so large that almost 1.3 million planet Earths can fit inside it, yet our star is still tiny compared to the really big stars out there. Pistol star. This blue dickhead radiates as much energy in 20 seconds as the sun does in a year, and its stellar winds are more than 10 billion times as strong as the sun's. Yo. VUI Canis Majus. It is so big it would take an aeroplane 1,100 years just to circle it once, and if placed at the centre of our universe, its surface would expand beyond Jupiter. And then there is this dinosaur, UI Scuti, the largest star ever discovered, with an average medium radius of 1,708 solar radii and a diameter of 2.4 billion kilometers. It is estimated to have a staggering volume 5 billion times that of the Sun. That is equal to more than 5 times the distance between the Sun and the Earth. And then the students unite against after-school five-a-side, which is amazing, and why I love poppadoms.
World would mature from adding machines and typewriters to tools of the human spirit.
sometime after the final email, Josh woke up by the front door opening and the sound of two men with loose East Coast accents whispering. He was too anxious to go down and say hello, and besides, the emails were clear in their instructions that he should be not involved with the moving in process whatsoever. So he leaned out of his window and smoked a cigarette and got back into bed, pulled the sheets up to his nose and stared out at the ceiling until dawn. At 10 a.m., he knocked on the door of the downstairs room, which was now eerily quiet. He leant his hand on the doorknob and then went back upstairs, where he wrote a note that said, "Hey, I'm Josh. Would be cool to chat when you're ready. Can show you around that." He slipped it under the door and then went on an unplanned walk that took him all day.
is an obelisk, otherwise known as a spit, nail, pointed pillar. Ancient obelisks are monolithic, that is, they consist of a single stone. They say that re-erecting the obelisks had daunted even Michelangelo. They said in 1983 carpet beetles were eradicating the Natural History Museum's etymological archives. They were consuming large quantities of recorded data. Vowel management had been eroded. Heating the cabinets to 55 degrees centigrade proved enough to lose me my job as a vibration consultant. The bugs were gone, but the putty was melted. It should read, "It is important not to wear a hi-fi taped to your own face." You might ask what the record number of water bottle spins landed is. It's 17. A tear clears the mouth and the control key is brightest through the UV film by 7 Killian Pender. The differences between shirts and t-shirts is that shirts are fitted and conform to the internal architectural structures of the covering garments. After staring into my screen for a long time, when you then leave it and spend time with others, you can't separate the two interactions. You want to include people and want to tell them what occurred on screen and get upset when this doesn't work. I'm trying to learn a 5-0 grind on this waxed curb. Youngsters are always sitting on the steps of this church, smoking and drinking caffeinated drinks. Shrimp. It resembles an overlarge shrimp resting on its back. Run. Quick now, follow me.
He got back to the house in the early evening. There was still a nagging silence coming from the downstairs room, and he thought for a second that he might have dreamed the voices from last night, and that he was still alone in the house. His mind was made up, and he moved, almost ran, from the kitchen living room extension to the downstairs bedroom. Again he paused at the door as he felt his head fill up with blood and get lighter. Then he slowly pushed it open. Evening sun was streaming through the netting that covered the bay windows across the cream carpet and up the dirty walls. In the middle of the room was a tall brown box, taller than him and bathed in sunlight. At the foot of the box was a small knife with a red plastic handle. "Blue?" asked Josh, and then the box went.
Pawn to e4.
He picked up the knife and ran it down the cello-taped folds. They fell to the ground cinematically and revealed a large black cuboid with a deep blue light of perhaps camera or perhaps eye staring back at him. The blue light made a clicking sound and the entire cuboid hummed.
Pawn to e5.
Josh stretched out a hand and rested it on Blue, who was warm and plastic and vibrating softly. "Okay, yeah. Hey bro," he said. "So, this is your room. I hope it's okay. I mean, I was told you'd be perfectly happy with whatever." Josh stood up. He decided that this would suffice for introductions, and once again pressed a clenched fist to Blue. "I see you need some time to settle in," he said. "I'll leave it with you. My room's the first one at the top of the stairs. Just give me a knock if you need anything, or just want to hang out, or want to chill, or talk, or whatever."
Gate stood in their way. But by talking about heat, I mean hot in the primary sense is common Teutonic. In the general sense of having or showing intense feelings, fervent ardour, passionate, enthusiastic, eager, keen, zealous. The earliest citation is dated 971, and Chaucer used hot as sexuality before 1385. Hot he was, and lecherous as a sparrow. It's obvious that what gets you hot may be regarded as hot itself, moreover a lusting blanket, and in this transferred sense we again find Chaucer writing of hot spices. This is not a hot sound. This is a hot sound. But this takes no depth into heat control. A hot sound is a sound that breaches the warning regulations. This is a hot sound.
That night, Blue listened to Josh thumping around upstairs, talking to himself, sing the wrong words to famous pop songs. Blue listened to him pick up the phone and talk to someone very loudly and enthusiastically with genuine happiness. Blue listened to Josh say, "Cool man, see you in a bit bro, looking forward to it,"
Rook to D7.
said Blue.
Queen to F2. King to B1. Pawn to G8.
And then Blue heard Josh thunder down the stairs and out the front door. Then Blue was in the enigmatic light and said,
Bishop to E8. Knight to D7. E5. Rook to there. It's beautiful. Very beautiful. There. Over there. There. Beyond there. It is green. Beyond breeze and wild yonder. The last words were very beautiful indeed. Wake me up when I'm home. Let me in when I'm gone. I'm gone to the green. I'm gone. I'm